Have you ever wondered why you feel different, like you never fully fit into the world around you? Have you carried a sense deep inside that you were born for something greater, something hidden, something divine? If these questions stir your spirit, then listen closely, because this message has reached you at the perfect time. Nothing is by accident. You have been guided here because God is preparing to reveal something powerful about your life. Chosen ones, this is not just another video. This is a call from above. I want you to open your heart and spirit, because what I share today can change your life forever. And I ask you right now, if you feel that deep pull, if you know in your soul that you are not here by mistake, comment your number in the chat, 777-333-999, whichever resonates with you. Let the universe know you are awake and ready. If you are truly chosen, if you feel this truth burning within, then subscribe to this channel, Divine Calling, because here lies your light, your path, your guidance. Tap the bell, stay until the very end, because what will be revealed will open your eyes and change your life completely. Have you ever wondered why you feel different? Like you never fully fit into the world around you? Have you carried a sense deep inside that you were born for something greater, something hidden, something divine? If these questions stir your spirit, then listen closely. This message has reached you at the perfect time. Nothing is by accident. You have been guided here because God is preparing to reveal something powerful about your life. Chosen ones, this is not just another video. This is a call from above. I want you to open your heart and spirit. What I share today can change your life forever. If you feel that deep pull, if you know in your soul you are not here by mistake, comment your number in the chat, 777-333-999, whichever resonates with you. Let the universe know you are awake and ready. If you are truly chosen, subscribe to this channel, Divine Calling. Tap the bell and stay until the very end, because what will be revealed will open your eyes and change your life completely. 2. Transition, the path of the hidden mission. Now let me take you deeper, chosen one. You see, when God sets his eyes upon you, he rarely reveals the fullness of his plan all at once. A hidden mission is not something you stumble upon. It is something that unfolds piece by piece in divine timing. It is a path designed to shape you, to refine you, and to prepare you for a purpose far greater than you can yet imagine. That is why so often you feel like your life doesn't move in the same rhythm as everyone else's. While others chase after worldly success, you find yourself being pulled into situations that test your spirit, sharpen your discernment, and separate you from the crowd. This is because a hidden mission is sacred. It is not meant for everyone, and it is not meant to be exposed too soon. God often hides his chosen ones in plain sight, covering them until the moment is right. You might not fully see why certain things happened in your life, but one day you will understand that it was all training, all part of your preparation. The signs that I'm about to reveal are not random. They are confirmations that you have been set apart, and as we go through each one, you will begin to recognize that your journey has been carefully written by divine hands. So stay with me, because each sign is another key unlocking the truth of your hidden mission. 3. Sign 1. The feeling of being different. Since childhood, from the earliest years you walked the earth, there was a quiet knowing inside you that the world around you was not entirely yours. While other children laughed at surface things, you listened to silence. While they were satisfied with simple answers, something in you kept asking deeper questions. This is the first sign, and it is subtle but relentless. A sense of being different that did not come from arrogance or rebellion, but from an inner frequency tuned to a destiny beyond ordinary life. If this describes you, then hear me clearly. This feeling is not a flaw. It is the whisper of the divine preparing your soul for a mission that requires a heart unlike most. You were never merely misfit, you were being trained. The awkwardness, the moments of solitude, the sensation that your thoughts did not fit in the classroom or the playground, these were spiritual classrooms. God begins his work by separating a soul inexperience first, by giving it a different lens. You learned early to observe more than to perform. You noticed patterns others missed. You felt the weight of unseen things. That sensitivity made you reserved, perhaps lonely, but it also honed your perception. The chosen heart often grows roots in silence. In that silence, God begins to write the outline of a secret mission. Do not underestimate the importance of childhood seasons. The small disappointments, the times you were misunderstood, the teachers who labeled you difficult, each became a refining fire. These early trials protected you from pride and taught you empathy. When God prepares someone for a hidden mission, he does not simply gift power, he molds character. The sense of being different is the first shaping tool. It breaks dependence on approval and builds a resilient core. You who have always felt out of step with the world, this is your credential, not your curse. There is also another layer to this sign, an internal compass that pointed you toward meaning, not popularity. Perhaps you were drawn to stories, to scriptures, to mysteries of the spirit while others chased toys and trends. Perhaps you found more comfort in a quiet prayer or an unanswered question than in loud acceptance. That inward pull is evidence of an original calling. God often ignites longing in the heart before he reveals the full purpose. That longing is fuel. Let it burn, but be guided by wisdom. Seek mentors who understand the sacred. Avoid those who demand you abandon the deeper stirrings for immediate comfort. Being different does not mean you will be isolated forever. In fact, this early separation is often the prelude to a future of deep, meaningful connections with kindred souls. The God who set you apart will gather you into a tapestry of allies, servants, and watchers at the appointed time. But first, you must walk alone enough to trust God's voice above the noise of popularity and the pressure to conform. This solitary refining gives you integrity. It teaches you to act from conviction, not from the need to blend in. In your mission, conviction will be essential. Without it, the work will bend to the crowd and lose its divine power. You may also remember moments of inner instruction, teachings in prayer, dreams that felt like conversations, a persistent moral clarity that guided even when reason could not explain. Those moments are the seedlings of destiny. They often come early because the child soul is more receptive. Adults later confuse this receptivity with naivety, but in truth, it is spiritual alertness. Protect that receptivity. Cultivate it with discipline, prayer, and a life of integrity. The world will try to harden you into cynicism. The mission will require your original tenderness and the ability to hear the small voice. If you have carried shame because you were different, it is time to lay that down. The same qualities that made you suffer in youth are the very qualities that will make you effective in service. Sensitivity becomes compassion. Solitude becomes depth. Questions become revelation. God's methods are often hidden because he wants to ensure the character of the vessel before he pours the full measure of purpose into it. When you finally step into that purpose, you will be glad for every season that taught you to wait, to listen, and to stay true to your inner call. So, chosen one, recognize this pattern in your life. Do not dismiss your early loneliness or your sense of not belonging as mere coincidence. See them as divine signatures. Sit with those memories and bless them, for they are the catalogue of your preparation. Honor the child within who learned to walk in a different rhythm. Give thanks for the early scars that taught you humility and strength. And begin now to lean into the truth. Being different since childhood is not an accident. It is the first sign that God has quietly selected you, and that your life has been shaped to carry a hidden mission that only you can fulfill. 4. Sign 2. Deep spiritual sensitivity and intuition. There is a language the soul understands long before the mind finds words for it, and chosen ones often speak that language effortlessly. If you have felt the world as a tapestry of whispers, subtle impressions, sudden knowing, dreams that linger like instructions, Then you are touching the second sign: deep spiritual sensitivity and intuition. This is not mere coincidence or overactive imagination. It is a finely tuned antenna placed within your spirit, so you can receive guidance from the unseen. Respect it, tend it, learn to distinguish its voice from the noise. Spiritual sensitivity shows itself in many forms. It may come as a quiet conviction that a choice is right or wrong before facts appear. It may arrive in vivid dreams that feel more like meetings than fantasies. Sometimes it is a sudden burst of understanding in the middle of routine tasks, a solution dropping into your awareness as if scripted by another hand. Other times it is physical, gooseflesh, a tightening in the chest, or a deep peace that settles like a cloak when truth is present. These are not signs of weakness. They are spiritual instruments. When God discreetly chooses someone for a hidden mission, He gifts the capacity to perceive what others cannot see. Yet sensitivity needs training. Like any instrument, if left unattended, it will give faulty readings. Discernment is the twin of intuition. You must learn to test impressions, to weigh them against divine character and scripture, and to seek confirmation through prayer, fasting, and the counsel of mature spiritual guides. Never accept a feeling as absolute truth without verification. The enemy can counterfeit impressions. Pride can mislabel wishful thinking as revelation. A chosen heart is humble enough to verify, patient enough to wait for confirmation, and wise enough to reject any prompt that contradicts love and truth. A trusted practice for honing your sensitivity is journaling. Write down impressions immediately: time, place, emotions, and the content of the insight. Over time, patterns will emerge. Some impressions will repeat, strengthening their credibility. Others will be one-off noises to be ignored. Prayerful reflection on the entries will reveal which voices are steady and which fluctuate. Discipline your sensitivity with routine spiritual disciplines. Scripture, silence, solitude, and consistent prayer create an environment where true revelations can be recognized and false ones dismissed. Expect testing. God refines perception through pressure. You may receive clear guidance that is then challenged by circumstances or opposition. When your inner compass proves accurate despite external contradiction, your confidence will grow. When it appears mistaken, do not panic. Examine the context and your heart. Did pride tint the message? Were you seeking confirmation for a wish? Have you sought wise counsel? The path of a chosen one includes frequent calibration, an ongoing process of learning stable discernment. Boundaries are necessary. Sensitivity can become an open door to other people's emotions or to spiritual disturbances if you lack protection. Learn to set energetic and spiritual limits. Cover yourself in prayer, declare divine protection, and avoid environments that consistently disrupt your peace without reason. Remember that being sensitive does not mean absorbing every feeling in a room. It means perceiving what is useful for your mission and letting the rest pass through you without attachment. Service is the true thermometer of genuine sensitivity. If your intuitive gifts lead you to greater compassion, clearer guidance, and sacrificial service, they are moving in the right direction. If they inflate your ego or isolate you from accountability, they must be restrained. The chosen soul uses spiritual insight to serve others and to align communities with higher purpose, never to dominate or to predict for the sake of control. Let your sensitivity point you to healing, justice, mercy, and the practical uplift of those God places before you. Teachability matters. Even profound intuition will fail when not anchored to humility. Seek mentors and elders who will lovingly correct and confirm. Place your impressions under the lamp of communal wisdom. When a vision or prompting comes, present it to trusted companions and listen to their response. Often, the Holy Spirit confirms truth through agreement in love, and sometimes correction arrives that saves you from error. Chosen ones grow not in isolation, but within communities that sharpen and protect them. Finally, Be courageous in obedience. Sensitivity is not merely for private illumination, it is a call to action. When you receive a clear prompting to speak a word, to comfort a stranger, to step into a risky place, all of which may feel dangerous, you must choose faith. Obedience will strengthen the signal. Each time you follow a true prompting, your capacity to receive deepens. Each time you ignore it out of fear, the channel dulls. God prepares you by inviting you to act, and your hidden mission advances one obediential step at a time. So guard your sensitivity with prudence and cultivate it with discipline. Test every impulse, journal every impression, surround yourself with wisdom, and let your gifts move you into humble service. If you are receiving impressions that tug at your soul, do not dismiss them as mere whimsy. They may be the voice of the divine, preparing you for a mission that requires nothing less than a heart that listens and a will that obeys. 5. Sign 3. Intense trials and spiritual warfare. If you have been chosen, expect the road to be strewn with battles. God's selection often invites opposition because a hidden mission threatens the comfortable systems of the world and the plans of the enemy. Trials are not accidents or punishments. They are crucibles. They test the quality of your faith, reveal what is truly in your heart, and sharpen the weapons you will need in the field. When hardship comes, do not ask only why me. Ask instead, what is God doing through this? The answer will change the way you walk through suffering. These seasons of pressure arrive in many forms: losses that hollow you out, betrayals that sting like salt, repeated delays that sap the spirit, and attacks that feel supernatural in origin. Sometimes the warfare is visible. Relationships fall away, finances collapse, health is challenged. Other times it is invisible. Doubt, despair, nightmares, and a persistent fog that blunts your hope. Both are real. Both are tools in the hands of the divine to carve a vessel suitable for sacred work. The chosen person is not spared pain. They are taught to carry it with purpose. Understand this fundamental truth. Testing produces competence. A soldier trained only in sunshine will fail when battle comes. The same for your soul. The trials you face build endurance, patience, and a deeper dependency on God. They force you to trade quick fixes for lasting trust. When your comfort is removed, your true foundation is revealed. If your identity was wrapped in approval, success, or ease, trials will strip those coverings away so that you stand naked before God, purified and real. That nakedness is the birth canal of prophetic strength. Be wise in how you respond to spiritual attacks. Panic weakens, prayer strengthens. When fear rises, name it, submit it, and replace it with a spoken truth. Learn to declare scriptural promises over your life. Rehearse them so that they come easily when the enemy whispers lies. Also develop practical spiritual disciplines: habitual prayer, fasting when directed, worship that rises from the depths, and focused intercession for those areas under assault. These practices are not religious performances. They are spiritual armor that keep you standing when everything else falls away. Equally important is discernment. Not every difficulty is a cosmic battle against you. Many hardships are natural consequences of choices in a fallen world. Distinguish between coincidence and targeted warfare. When you sense a specific spiritual attack, seek confirmation through prayer, scripture, and the counsel of trained spiritual elders. Do not let paranoia masquerade as prophecy. A chosen life requires clarity more than it needs drama. There will be moments when the struggle feels unfair and endless. In those dark nights of the soul, cling to the small, consistent practices that have carried you thus far. Keep your quiet time even when it feels empty. Sing in the dark. Read a single verse and chew on it. Invite a trusted friend to pray with you and refuse isolation. The enemy desires to isolate the chosen so he may whisper lies unchecked. Community is a lifeline. Humility is a fortress. Admit your wounds to those who love you in truth and allow others to bear burdens with you. Remember also that suffering refines your empathy. The wounds you endure give you a ministry of presence that cannot be learned in libraries. When you have been through deep trial and emerged, your voice will carry authority to those still in the furnace. Your testimony becomes a lamp for others. God uses wounded vessels to bring healing because they know how to stay with people in pain without offering cheap answers. Your scars will be a map for others to find their way. Do not ignore the practical. Guard your mind, body, and relationships. Eat wisely. Sleep when needed. Create boundaries that protect your calling. Often, the enemy exploits neglect. If you are depleted, you are vulnerable. Rest is not a luxury. It is strategy. Build rhythms that sustain you so that when a storm arrives, you are not already spent. Spiritual warfare is won both in the hidden inner life and in the disciplined outward life. Finally, remember the promise embedded in the trial: redemption of purpose. God does not waste your suffering. He transforms it into wisdom, courage, and authority. When you stand on the other side, you will see precise ways your past prepared you for assignment. The betrayals taught discernment. The losses taught humility. The sleepless nights taught persistence. What felt like senseless pain is often the secret schooling for the mission ahead. So stand firm, chosen one. Do not be surprised by warfare. Expect it and prepare for it. Fight not in your strength, but in the name and power of the one who has called you. Let each trial teach you, each wound deepen your compassion, and each victory remind you that you are being shaped for more than survival. You are being prepared for a sacred task. Keep your eyes on the one who refines. Your endurance will not be in vain, and the mission hidden in God's hands will be revealed in due season. 6. Sign 4. Isolation and separation from the crowd. One of the clearest marks of a chosen life is the season of isolation. When God sets you apart for a hidden mission, He will often draw you away from the crowd. This separation may feel painful, confusing, even unfair, but it is not punishment, it is preparation. You may have found that friends suddenly disappeared, relationships ended without clear reason, or doors that once opened easily now remain shut. At times, this leaves you wondering, why am I always walking alone? Why do people drift away when I need them most? The answer is divine. Separation is a refining tool in the hands of God. When God wants to make someone strong, He first teaches them to stand alone. Isolation teaches you to depend not on applause, not on approval, not on the constant presence of others, but on His voice alone. In solitude, you hear God without distortion. In silence, your spirit learns to discern truth from noise. Without this season, you would always run to people before running to God, and that dependence would weaken the power of your calling. Separation is the training ground where your ears and heart are tuned to the divine frequency. Look carefully at your life. Perhaps you once belonged to groups where you felt comfortable, yet something in your spirit began to resist their energy. Old friendships may have begun to feel heavy, even toxic. Certain environments that once entertained you now leave you empty. This is the Spirit of God pulling you away from distractions that no longer align with your mission. What seems like rejection from others is often protection from above. God knows that your hidden mission requires focus, and He removes every voice that would drown out His guidance. Do not mistake this process for abandonment. Though the crowd leaves, heaven surrounds you. Angels walk silently with you in seasons where no one calls, texts, or checks in. Your tears are not unnoticed, your loneliness is not wasted. Every quiet night is a lesson in inner strength. Every unanswered phone call is a nudge toward prayer. Every door that closes is a redirection to the secret chamber where God speaks. It is there, away from the distractions of constant chatter, that vision begins to unfold with clarity. Understand also that not everyone can walk where you are going. A hidden mission requires a unique discipline. Many are not ready for the weight of it. If they remain close, their influence could dilute your resolve or distract your focus. For this reason, God removes them, sometimes gently, sometimes suddenly. You may weep for their absence, but you will one day rejoice when you see how their absence gave you the strength to go higher. The mountain path is narrow, chosen one, and it was never designed to hold a crowd. Isolation also protects your mission from premature exposure. Imagine a seed underground. It must remain hidden in darkness for a time, drawing strength, sending roots deep before it breaks the soil. If exposed too early, the seed dies. In the same way, your mission must remain covered while you develop. The world may not yet understand your vision, and if you reveal it too soon, it could be crushed by misunderstanding or opposition. Separation ensures that when you finally emerge, you are rooted and unshakable. Take comfort in knowing that this is a common mark of every prophet, every servant, every soul chosen for higher work. Moses spent years in the desert. David knew the loneliness of the fields. Even Christ withdrew into the wilderness before his ministry began. Loneliness has always been the womb of greatness. What feels like exile is in truth an incubation chamber. You are not forgotten. You are being hidden until the appointed time. So, if you find yourself walking alone, embrace it as divine evidence. Let isolation teach you to pray without ceasing, to listen without distraction, to serve without recognition. Allow this season to carve your faith until it is unbreakable. When the time comes for you to step into the light, you will carry a strength that no crowd could have given, and a clarity that no noise could have revealed. Separation is not the end of connection, chosen one. It is the beginning of true alignment. When the mission is ready to unfold, God will send the right souls, the right helpers, the right voices to walk with you. But for now, stand boldly in your solitude. It is not loneliness. It is consecration. And it is proof that you are chosen for something far greater than you can yet see. 7. Sign 5. Unexplainable protection and divine favor. Chosen one, pause and look back over your life. Count the moments when danger was near, yet you walked away unharmed. Remember the times when everything should have collapsed, but somehow you were carried through. Think of the storms you thought would swallow you whole, yet they passed, and you remained standing. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is the hand of God covering you with unexplainable protection and divine favor. When you are chosen for a hidden mission, heaven assigns a shield over your life that no weapon can truly destroy. Many can testify to accidents they should not have survived, illnesses that should have taken them, or betrayals that should have broken them permanently. Yet here you are, still breathing, still rising, still being prepared. That is favor. Not because you were better than others, but because your assignment demanded your survival. You are here because your mission has not yet been fulfilled. Every time you walked away from harm, it was God whispering, "I am not finished with you." Divine favor shows itself in ways that even the most skeptical cannot deny. Opportunities arrive where there were no connections. Doors swing open that others knock on for years without entry. You may wonder, why me? Why did I find grace when others with more skill or more influence did not? The answer again is your mission. Favor is not random, it is strategic. God positions his chosen in places where their influence, their testimony, and their obedience will impact lives. That is why you may find yourself in rooms you never thought you'd enter, meeting people you never imagined, receiving chances you never chased. This favor also reveals itself in subtle but undeniable timing. You may notice that when something ends, another path almost immediately appears. You lose a job but receive an unexpected opportunity. A relationship ends but leads you to deeper healing and purpose. What looks like chaos is often choreography. God aligns events so that nothing truly vital is lost, only replaced with what better fits your calling. Protection is not only about keeping you alive, it is about guiding your steps so that every part of your journey serves your hidden mission. But hear me, chosen one. Favor does not mean life without trials. You will still face hardship. Yet even in the fire, protection remains. Think of how others collapsed under pressure you somehow endured. Think of the mental attacks that could have taken your peace, yet you survived with your sanity intact. That is divine preservation. Others may look at you and wonder how you are still moving forward, not knowing that angels have walked with you, carrying you when you could not carry yourself. Protection also shows itself in blocked paths. Sometimes what looks like rejection is protection. You may have cried over the opportunity that slipped away, not realizing it would have derailed your purpose. You may have mourned friendships that dissolved, not knowing they were harmful to your spirit. When God says no, He is saying yes to your mission. Divine favor is not only in the blessings you see, but in the dangers you never even realized were near. You were spared without knowing it. That is how completely you are covered. Chosen ones often carry testimonies of almost destroyed, almost forgotten, almost taken down, but never quite. Because the hand of God sets a limit on what the enemy can do. You may be tested, but you will not be consumed. You may bend under pressure, but you will not break beyond repair. Every almost you survived is proof of your mission. You are still here because there is still work for you to do. This sign also carries a responsibility. Favor is not given for your comfort. It is given for your assignment. Do not waste divine covering on selfish pursuits. Every blessing, every escape, every breakthrough must be stewarded wisely. Give thanks for them and use them to advance light in the world. The chosen one who forgets this may find favor fading, not because God has abandoned them, but because they abandoned their mission. Stay humble. Recognize that the shield around you is not of your own making. It is the mercy and plan of God. So lift your head, chosen one. Walk with the quiet confidence that you are covered. When others fall, you may stumble, but you will not perish. When the world cannot explain why doors open for you, simply smile and know it is divine strategy. When you look back and realize how many times you should not have made it, let gratitude flood your soul. Unexplainable protection and divine favor are not illusions. They are your inheritance as one marked for a hidden mission. Hold on to this truth and let it remind you in every storm. You are never walking unguarded. Sign 6, a burning desire to seek truth and higher knowledge. Chosen one, there is something inside you that refuses to be satisfied with shallow answers. While others are content to live on the surface, chasing trends, possessions, and distractions, your soul hungers for something deeper. This is the 6th sign, a burning desire to seek truth and higher knowledge. From the time you first began to question life, you noticed that simple explanations never fully quenched your thirst. You wanted to know why things are the way they are, what lies beyond the visible, and what mysteries God has hidden in plain sight. This hunger is not ordinary curiosity. It is a divine fire placed in you to prepare you for revelation. You may remember how, even as a child, you were drawn to scriptures, spiritual books, wisdom literature, or teachings that most people found boring. Where others yawned, you leaned closer. Where they dismissed, you searched. This is evidence of your spiritual wiring. God planted in you an unshakable desire for truth because your mission requires more than common knowledge. To guide others, to serve with power, and to withstand deception, you must be rooted in wisdom that comes from above. This desire often feels like restlessness. No matter how much you learn, there is always more. Each answer leads to a deeper question. Each discovery feels like a doorway into another mystery. Sometimes this can be frustrating. You may even wonder if you are chasing something that cannot be found. But do not mistake restlessness for emptiness. It is God's way of stretching your capacity. Like a vessel that must be enlarged to hold greater oil, your spirit is being expanded through this endless seeking. Understand, though, that not all knowledge is safe. The world is full of voices claiming truth, and many are designed to confuse, to dilute, or to distract. This is why discernment is essential. Do not chase every philosophy or teaching you encounter. Weigh it against the eternal wisdom of God. Ask yourself, does this knowledge bring peace or confusion? Does it align with the higher law of love, justice, and humility, or does it feed pride and ego? The chosen one learns to separate wisdom from noise, truth from distortion. Your hunger for truth also explains why you often feel disconnected from conversations that dwell on gossip, trivial matters, or worldly pursuits. While others are entertained by the shallow, you long for substance. This can create loneliness at times. You may sit in a group and feel utterly out of place. Do not see this as a weakness. It is simply the mark of your spirit outgrowing what no longer nourishes it. You are tuned for deeper waters, and shallow pools cannot satisfy you anymore. One of the clearest ways this sign shows itself is in your attraction to spiritual mysteries. Dreams, visions, parables, prophetic teachings, these stir something alive in you. You may find yourself asking God for revelation at night, or waking with insights that feel too strong to dismiss. You may sense hidden meanings in events, symbols, or even everyday encounters. This is not imagination gone wild. It is your spirit learning to read the hidden language of God. When handled with humility and balance, this gift becomes one of the greatest strengths of your mission. But hunger must be matched with discipline. It is not enough to seek truth. You must also apply it. Knowledge without practice inflates the ego. Knowledge put into action transforms the world. If God has made you restless for truth, it is so that you can live it, embody it, and pass it on. Do not hoard revelations for yourself. Share them. Teach others. Allow your life to become a testimony of what you have learned. In this way, your pursuit of higher knowledge will not only build your spirit, but also illuminate the path for others still wandering in the dark. Remember, too, that truth is not merely information. It is a person, a presence, a relationship with the divine. Seek not just facts about God, but intimacy with Him. Seek not only to know mysteries, but to become one with the source of all wisdom. This shift will protect you from pride and keep your hunger pure. When truth is sought in love, it leads to transformation. When truth is sought for power or recognition, it leads to emptiness. Guard your motives, chosen one, and your hunger will remain a sacred fire that guides you. So honor this sign within yourself. Do not ignore or suppress your thirst for higher knowledge. Feed it wisely with scripture, prayer, meditation, study, and communion with wise teachers. Allow your hunger to lead you higher, not into arrogance, but into deeper humility and service. For every chosen one, this burning desire to seek truth is the compass that keeps them on the path, pulling them toward revelation after revelation until their mission becomes clear. If you feel this fire within you, rejoice. It is proof that God is not finished teaching you, and that your hidden mission will require the fullness of His wisdom flowing through your life. Sign 7. The pull toward service and impact. One of the most unmistakable marks of being chosen is the inner pull to serve, to give, and to impact lives in ways that stretch far beyond your own personal gain. This pull is not a passing thought or a temporary burst of generosity. It is a constant ache within the soul. You sense that your life is not just about you, that your gifts, your experiences, even your scars were meant to be poured into the lives of others. This is the 7th sign, and it is often the one that confirms everything else. The chosen one feels called not to be served, but to serve. From a young age, you may have noticed a compassion within you that others did not carry. Maybe you were the one who stood up for the outsider, who felt deeply when others were hurting, who could not walk past suffering without it touching your heart. These instincts were not accidents, they were seeds of your divine mission. Service is not something you were taught, it is something you were born with. It is the natural outflow of a spirit connected to God's heart. This pull toward service manifests in many ways. You might feel drawn to teach, to guide, to heal, to encourage, or to create spaces where others find hope. You may not even know exactly what your mission looks like yet, but the desire to make an impact burns too strong to ignore. Chosen ones often say, "I just want to help people." And though that sounds simple, it is the essence of the calling. God does not choose his servants for their comfort. He chooses them to be vessels of light in a world that desperately needs it. The truth is, chosen ones are restless when they live only for themselves. A job that brings money but no meaning leaves them unsatisfied. A life built on self-centered pursuits feels empty, no matter how successful it appears on the outside. This restlessness is by design. God will not allow his chosen to settle for shallow impact. He plants within them a hunger for significance, a longing to touch lives, and a deep knowing that the mission is bigger than personal survival. But this sign comes with weight. Service is not always glamorous. In fact, it often demands sacrifice. The chosen one may give without being thanked, love without being loved back, build without being recognized. Yet they cannot stop, because the call within them is louder than their pain. And in those moments when weariness sets in, God reminds them, this is not about applause. This is about impact. Every act of service, no matter how small, is recorded in heaven as part of your hidden mission. You will also notice that your words and actions carry unusual influence. A simple encouragement you speak may stay with someone for years. A quiet act of kindness may ripple out and transform a life in ways you never imagined. This is because God amplifies the efforts of his chosen. While others may labor for recognition, your impact multiplies because it is fueled by divine authority. Service, when aligned with God's mission, becomes supernatural. Still, be mindful. The enemy will try to twist this sign. He will tempt you to serve for recognition, to burn yourself out trying to save everyone, or to carry burdens God never asked you to carry. Guard your heart. Learn to discern where your service is truly required and where you must step back. Not every need is your assignment. Chosen ones must balance compassion with wisdom, for the mission is not to exhaust yourself but to channel your gifts where they bring the greatest impact. The pull toward service is also a pull toward legacy. Deep down, you know you are here to leave something behind. Not wealth, not fame, but a trail of transformed lives. You want the world to be different because you walked upon it. That desire is proof that eternity is planted in your heart. It is the evidence that your hidden mission is not about temporary gain, but about eternal impact. So, chosen one, embrace this pull with joy. Do not suppress it to fit into a world that preaches selfishness. Do not dismiss it as weakness in a culture obsessed with taking rather than giving. Instead, recognize it as the crown jewel of your calling. To serve is to reflect the very heart of God. To impact lives is to partner with heaven in shaping destiny. When you live for service, you step fully into the reason you were chosen. And when your mission unfolds in its fullness, the lives you touch will testify. Here walked one who was chosen, and their light changed everything. 10. Closing. Embrace your mission. Chosen one, you have now walked through the 7 signs. And if even a few of them stirred your heart, then know this with certainty. You are not here by accident. From the feeling of being different since childhood, to the deep sensitivity and intuition, to the battles and trials that refined your soul, to the seasons of isolation, to the divine protection and favor that have carried you through, to the burning hunger for truth, and finally to that irresistible pull towards service and impact. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of God marking your life for something far greater than yourself. You have been hidden, protected, tested, and prepared. Every scar you carry, every tear you have shed, every moment you thought was meaningless, has been woven into the tapestry of your mission. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are not unworthy. You are chosen, and the fact that you are listening right now is proof that the time has come for you to embrace it. This message has reached you in divine timing, because heaven does not waste words. So I urge you, do not shrink back any longer. Step boldly into your calling. Trust the fire inside you, for it is holy. Walk in obedience, even when the path looks unclear. Share your light with courage, knowing that your mission is bigger than your comfort. And as you move forward, remember that you are not walking alone. The one who chose you walks with you, strengthening and guiding you with every step. If this message has spoken to your spirit, comment below with the number that resonates, whether it is 777, 333, or 999. And let it be your declaration that you are ready to walk in your calling. Let this be your public confirmation that you are rising into the fullness of your divine assignment. And if you truly feel this word was for you, then subscribe to Divine Calling, because this is where your path is illuminated. Here is your guidance, your light, your reminder that you are not wandering but walking in destiny. Tap the bell so you never miss a message meant for your growth, and share this with someone else who might also be chosen but still asleep to their mission. Chosen one, the time is now. Do not fear the weight of your calling. Embrace it with faith, with humility, and with strength. The mission may be hidden to the world, but it is not hidden to heaven, and soon it will unfold in your life with undeniable power. You are chosen, you are called, and your life will never be the same again. Walk forward, for your mission is waiting.